Hey guys, I'm back. I'm outside. I love outside. God bless outside. So this is a viewer request, and this is, I've been asked to see this a few times, but there's one person over and over and over that wants to see this. We're going to look at the Kershaw Swerve. Kershaw Swerve is in their, I'll say, budget-friendly lineup. It's a less expensive knife. This one came to me in, this one's going to be in the big giveaway, by the way. Mass drop or, oh, I can't remember. Might have come in a box. I don't know. But we're going to take a look at the Kershaw Swerve. And now this is not a straight unboxing. I've looked at this one before. I've done a brief, glance at it when I opened the box that it came in. So that's why it's open. It came in a box. But I'm going to tell you my opinions of it up front. Now, I love Kershaw, and I'm always saying how great Kershaw is. As a company as a whole, Kershaw has good quality. Kershaw makes some great, affordable knives. They make some great fancy knives. They have their awesome Big Brother ZT that makes some really fancy knives. The problem with Kershaw is that so many of their knives look exactly like Kershaw knives because they have a formula. And you can see in their 2019 lineup, they've really broken away from that and are making some more unique stuff. But the Swerve is another one of those that just follows the Kershaw formula. So taking a closer look, you've got your glass reinforced nylon scales, plastic basically. Plastic backspacer, steel liners, speed safe, which I love, speed safe is cool. And you've got a stone wash finished blade. Interesting little clip, the way it fits in. So the clip goes in and it can go left-handed, right-handed, tip up only. But you secure the clip with that little screw in there. It's different. It's just different. It's cool. It's a small EDC friendly knife. A little small for my taste, but not too small, It's got the K pattern for grippiness, but again, I'm gonna open it. It's like so many other Kershaws out there. Now there are some Kershaws that follow this same model, the black FRN scales, the either bead blast or they do a beautiful stone wash. I'm not going to take that away from them. It's a very nice stone wash finish on the blade. But there are so many Kershaws that you just look at it and you're like, yeah, that's a Kershaw. And there's nothing special about them. And unfortunately, the Swerve is another one of those where it's nothing special about it. Now, I want to caveat that by saying each one of them does have a unique shape to it most of the time. And is a little bit different. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't like the Swerve if you like the Swerve. I'm just saying that it doesn't pop to me as something different. Now, if you take a look at what Kershaw is offering for 2019, they've got brand new kinds of designs that you've never seen coming out of their stable before. Really breaking away from the black FRN handles with the stone wash or bead blast, bare metal blade. And really some cool new blade shapes too. Kershaw does a great drop point blade, but they do a lot of great drop point blades in stonewash with black FRN handles. That's what I'm trying to get at. So this was requested a lot. It's not something that I don't know. I shouldn't say it's not something that I'd pick up on my own. I might, because it's very inexpensive, fairly inexpensive anyway, and it's got all the hallmarks of a good Kershaw. It's got the speed safe, which take a look at that blade action. Hear that nice snappy sound. It's got really good lockup. Great fit and finish, as all Kershaws do. It is so generically Kershaw that it's one of those things that I might get just to round out my Kershaw collection. There's so many Kershaw designs out there. I probably have 10% of all the different designs that they make. But it is what it is. So this clip, very hard clip, by the way. Very tough, super tough. You really have to get in there. So once you get it, clipped in, it's not going anywhere. It's a very, very hard clip though. Small clips is the new thing. So this is, it's a deep carry clip. I guess it's about as high up as they could get it with that unique design. I'm putting it on there, and it also allows them to do the K texture all the way to the top, which is cool. Not really a lanyard hole if you're into lanyard holes, but Now, I do think that this Kershaw, by the way, would be awesome for custom work in terms of a nice, wide compared to the length of the blade, scales, a nice wide shape. So if you were going to get a knife and have custom work done, it's an inexpensive knife to get your hands on, and that leaves you money to do the custom work, because I've been doing more and more custom work for people, and they're finding out that the reason the custom work isn't cheap is because it's time consuming and materials are expensive. So some people are of the mindset that I'm not going to spend more than the price of the knife on the custom scales and blade work. But on the other hand, if you get a cheaper knife, you have more money to spend on that stuff. And, it's the price of the materials that some people want are expensive. So if you want to get a fancy looking knife with all fancy materials, like blue glass fiber and, lightning strike carbon fiber or C-Tech or some of those more exotic materials that are pricey, get a reliable, well-priced, simple knife as a base, and then trick that shit out and make it fancy. But anyway, sorry, that's going off on a tangent. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I like the blade shape. It's a little bit small for me. With my big hands, the way this flipper rests, it's not where the lock sits. You can see there's a little space in between, but it forms kind of like a guard for your finger. It almost pushes my hand back too far. It's not the most comfortable knife for me to hold, but if you're looking for a small EDC knife, it does have that nice small EDC knife feel. And the contouring's pretty good. If my hands were a little bit smaller, it would fit perfectly. The jimping up there doesn't do a whole lot for you. If I was going to customize this knife, I would definitely grind that jimping out a little bit more, and maybe put some over here. Maybe put some jimping over here too, for that 2-finger lock that I like to talk about. Very secure, very tight. You can kind of get it now, but I mean, it's because of this, it pushes your index finger so far back. And I have that complaint with a lot of flippers, not just this one, that they do form a guard to prevent your finger from slipping forward, but a lot of them are designed, primarily for flipping. Like, that's their primary function. So great flippers, but awkward to hold. Now, when you have a spring assist, you don't need so much real estate for flipping. It's going to flip, and it's going to flip well every time because you have a spring to make sure that happens. So you don't need this giant thing. A smaller flipper would work just as well. So you could cut that down a little bit and make more room for fingers. I'm just throwing that out there. And this is not one of their named designer knives either. This is like their, computer design team that sits on CAD and comes up with stuff. So some of their knives have a designer's name on it, a well-known designer. And it's interesting that I'm more willing to talk shit about their in-house design team than a design name. But anyway, okay, that's besides the point. I think that this could have been done in a more comfortable manner. That's all I'm saying. It is a very EDC-friendly size, though. I love Speed Safe. I say it every single time. I love Speed Safe. But here's the cool thing, too. A lot of Kershaws with the Speed Safe, if you live in a place where assisted knives are illegal, they're built so well, and I've done this to a few, that you can take that torsion bar out, that spring out, and with just a little bit extra pressure on that flipper, they will flip, or, thumb stub, whatever, just as well. A little bit of oil in there, and you just tune it. A lot of Kershaw's spring-safe knives will be just as effective without the spring. You'll have to use a little bit more pressure, but if you like a spring-safe knife, you can use it in a place where springs are illegal. I would recommend getting an experienced person that's worked on knives to help you remove that and put it back together. But you can do it yourself, too, fairly easily. Not a problem. So I just realized I don't have any paper out here to test the blade. Let me go get some paper, and then we'll do some blade tests. Windows makes for terrible paper tests. This is a formality. It's a Kershaw knife. I have yet to see the Kershaw... See the wind. I have yet to see a Kershaw knife that doesn't come out of the package, whether it's $10 or $100, that doesn't come out of the package finished damn near perfect every time. This P-cord is a little... It's been out here in the yard for a little bit through some rain and some stuff. It might be a little rugged. Might give us a little bit more trouble with the test than we're used to, but if it does well, it'll really do well. Yeah, okay. Little effort, but again, I'm listen to that P chord. I'm willing to attribute that to the P chord. So, well finished. Let's do a slice-a-roo. Slice-a-roo. Sound effect. Did you like it? Yeah, very, very nicely done blade. I mean, as always, would expect nothing less from Kershaw, no matter the price of the knife. So, there's your Kershaw Swerve. One of their less expensive models. And they've got so many models out. It's hard to keep track with Kershaw of what's available and what's not anymore. I have so many in the collection drawers that I don't even realize are out of production. And there's so many that I have on like an Amazon wish list that I go to look and it's like, sorry, no longer available. Just because again, some of them are so generic and have so many of the same features and designs and stuff that they just sort of roll them in and out of production. So it's, you know, there's not a lot that differentiates them. But as I'm sitting here talking smack about some Kershaws, don't forget, my whole channel is based on the #1 video when I first started my channel is based on making custom scales for Kershaw compound. So, you know, please don't get me wrong, Kershaw will always have a very special place in my heart. I picked that knife because Kershaws are awesome. Just not a huge fan of this particular one. So let's talk about you guys. Are you guys fans of this? Coffee in the scene. Are you guys fans of this particular one? I made this the other day in the shop because I was bored with hydrographics. Mixed up a nice color blue, and I made it sparkly because you know what? Because I can. That's why. Anyway, iced coffee, not hot coffee. In case you're wondering, just in case you guys want to know what goes on. What do you guys think of the Swerve? I know there's one person in particular that has asked us every single video, do the Swerve, do the Swerve, do the Swerve, and I said it will come up in the rotation. You know what? I moved it up in the rotation. What do you guys think? Is this something you would carry, something you like? Those of you who are familiar with Kershaw, do you agree with me that it's very generically Kershaw, or do you disagree with me entirely? And, you know, Doc P, you're out of your goddamn mind. It's a very fine knife. You know, what do you think? I'd love to hear from the group. So, but like every knife that I review that I can find on Amazon that I am willing to to recommend and say, yeah, it's decent, you can find this on the Amazon influencer page. It will be under video reviewed knives. I will make sure I find the best available deal for you guys so that if you do choose to go there and click it, you're not paying a single cent more than you should. And that link will be in the video description. This particular one, though, is going to someone in the big giveaway. This exact one. Tato? Tato! You say boof? No, you're laying in the sun. Tato says nothing. All right, guys. I do really appreciate every single one of you. You all are absolutely awesome. And I will be back again.